Right, you're watching The Advocate on Plus TV Africa, and it's time to tell it like it is. So here I go. Unknown Soldier, 1979, is probably the high point of Fela's music. Perfection attained. Is it the pulsating bass line, quietly holding things together from start to finish? The piano solos, the emotional cry, "Them kill my mama"? Fela, anikulapo-kuti, said that this song was his mother's proper burial. I agree with him. It was on this track that he branded the governmental system of Nigeria correctly as government magic. Who else but a magician could turn electric current, light, to darkness, candle, via the state-owned electric company? Brilliant metaphor. Sadly, Nigeria did very little to get this man the right and obvious support he deserved, and just because he was critical of the shameful corruption that pervaded rulership and stunted our growth and development. The lesson learned from this great man is the need to deploy one's talents, to not just push one's genre, profession, work, but also to assist, promote, and improve the state of one's country of origin. And this is exactly what we need to remind a lot of Nigerians about. The current crop of youngsters did not witness the energy and commitment of the likes of Gani Fawemi and Fela anikulapo-kuti to the well-being of Nigeria. They are growing up at a time when corruption itself is so strong an image and a reality that the voices of positive encouragement are either not heard or not loud enough, or worse still, not there at all. Something must have happened on the way to heaven. I suspect we will have to rise up and excel in our professional lives so that we can become genuine mentors to the youth. Magic should not be the preserve of an uncaring government. We must create our own brand, a peculiarly positive and enabling type of magic, made to turn around the evils and wrongdoings that are being enshrined in the psyche of the great majority of the nation's people and youth. It's time to move our fight to the workplace. There surely is the chance of a new nation emerging, one which through creativity will birth a new order. So,
I'm just,
do you know what made me laugh in that thing? On our way to heaven, have we made it yet?
Are we even on route?
Are we even on route?
Yeah, but I wanted to ask
we are on the way.
Chuka, just to be sure, are we letting our leaders off the hook? You know, because if you're saying let's just turn our backs on them and focus on our own brand of magic, is it that we're not going to pursue these people and ask them to do the will of the people at all?
No, just that we should...
Are you so disillusioned?
I am disillusioned. But I'm saying that we should, we might, in fighting government, if we call it fighting government, we might have forgotten and left our own flanks open. That is our own ability to influence everyone around us. Well. Yes. And who knows, we may be the leaders in making that will eventually go into government and take over. We need to prepare. We've said it on this program before. Oh, is it always the government? So, and then I think one day I said, no. Oh, who makes the government? I said, well, obviously, nice from.
You're finally listening to me.
And you know, so essentially.
Are you also saying, you know, because I was trying to figure out what you were saying. Are you also saying that we should use our you know, where our talents are in order to either raise awareness and create change?
That's
so like what Fela did. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I must admit, I mean, I know when Two-Face, Baba tried to do that. Remember when he called for a protest? And then he backed down. At that point, when he called for that protest, everybody got excited because they saw Baba trying to take over the mantle from Fela, and people really thought, oh wow, this is going to be exciting, and he didn't go forth. Then we had, or we have, Charlie Boy. Why is Charlie Boy's movement not working? That's what I want to understand. His movement is not going anywhere.
Uche, sorry, Chuka, I wanted to take it from where you stopped. I quite understand your message. It will not be discerning to somebody who is not, you know, intellectually stimulated.
Like yourself.
Really, if we wait for government, it's 50-50. Government provides 50, we provide 50. If we wait for government to provide 50, they will never. And so do you know what the religious group have done now? They have taken over the remaining 50 from us. So they seems to be the one propelling and providing solutions. That's why there seems to be so much energy in that direction. Like I said, highly religious but less godly. And so we need to take over that 50% from those religious groups and use it to push for good government. Like during the election, you saw the Omonio bullies, you saw the what's the name of this guy?
What, Davido?
No, not Davido. This slim guy that he was, I think he won. Timmy Dakolo, you know, you saw Timmy Dakolo, you saw Chigo, you know, all these people, that's why they are called influencers. So if at our various field, you know, we also influence good environment, good stuffs, good things, and then people will listen to us as the alternative, and then you can now use those ideas
to put pressure on the government.
Look at Banky W. He has started a movement. He contested,
and he didn't do badly.
I don't want him to rest on his arms.
No.
He should continue from there, and before you know it, that will galvanize a lot of people. And it is high time. If we continue to wait for this government to provide, they will never. Let's just have it at the back of our mind. So it is high time we create this alternative and take it from the.
Wow, the revolution has kicked off.
So I'll come in here and I'll say, you know what your topic earlier and Chuka's topic are actually interrelated.
Yes, I was thinking that.
When you mentioned Fela, because Fela was about ideology. He had particular ideals that he pushed forward. And these were ideals that he didn't learn from Nigeria. Most people tend to forget that he actually learned it from Sandra in America before he moved back to Nigeria. And that says something, actually, if you think about it. Number one. Number two is Fela was a visionary. We lack in visionary leaders. So without ideology, without vision, you're right. Maybe we need to be the ones, the bastions of how this country should be run, how we should communicate with each other, what respect we should show to each other, and how we should behave as a people.
But I'm still curious. I'm curious. Why do you think? What is it saying that he didn't learn it from Nigeria?
I'll tell you why. So if you know the story of Fela, remember, you know the story.
Yes, but it's not that he learned it from them. That's the Black American, from Sandra.
From Sandra.
Let's just say that she's structured. He's not an idiot. He knew what he thought, and she basically gave it structure.
When Fela started,
because he started before Sandra.
He was doing
when Fela started, it was his mother that actually told him, "Look, you can't beat the white man in their game. You have to be traditional. You have to take your music
bring
to your
it back
people,
a bit,
bring it back, and that's the only way you can create your own style." And that's why he respects his mother so much.
True. So what I'm saying is that based, and that's
that point of reference, though. The point I'm making, let me that point of reference, right? Anybody who's read Fela's only autobiography, written by Carlos Moore, it's in there. You've read it, right? Yes. It's called This Beach of a Life. Read it. Fantastic book. So he gets to America. And he's still playing what he was playing in Nigeria. So Sandra takes him in and gives him all the Malcolm X books, everything. She says, read about black consciousness. He said, if it's not, there's two women that shaped my life. He said, my mother and Sandra. And Sandra pushed that black consciousness into him. So he then came to Nigeria. His music aficionados and intellectuals will tell you, his music then suddenly took a whole different turn.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
with regards to the vision and the ideology.
So it's saying something in the sense that he allowed himself to evolve.
No. He evolved into an ideology.
When he went to school, came back, he was playing Kola Lobito. Then his mother now said, "No, you can't." If you learn,
you need an ideology behind.
You do need an ideology behind.
But I think he always had the ideology.
It just needed somebody to,
and who was going to make him fire up.
Maybe that's what she did.
And that's what Sandra did. Sandra fired him up. Because Fela was actually already.
No, he did say my mother and Sandra. He said my mother and Sandra.
Yeah, even the music school thing, exactly. He was
always a rebel.
Yeah.
But you know you can be a rebel. From what you're saying.
What we're discussing
we need to understand.
It's good. Actually, the point I take from why I was interested in what she's saying.
His father wanted him to read medicine.
Yeah.
That was, his father wanted him to read medicine.
Either medicine or law.
Yes.
I mean, for me...
Because his brothers read medicine.
What I'm taking from what Ireti has said is that really behind every movement, you need a focus, you need ideology. You can't just go into it.
That's correct.
Anyhow. He went and shaped his thoughts and thought about how he wanted to approach things.
But what I'm basically saying in what I wrote is that there are many ideologists out here. Many of us, probably all five of us sitting here, ideologists. Okay, at this juncture, we joined the conversation on our social media space. Here are your contributions to last week's discourse. Makeup as fraud still seems to be the ongoing conversation piece. Obi Honor, sounds like my sister, says, Uche Okoli, minimal makeup is absolutely essential, but this new mask-type makeup is deceptive and frankly not actually flattering in my opinion. Ngozi Wankwo says, excessive makeup that alters your facial appearance or beyond recognition, yes, it's deceptive. Makeup should enhance beauty. And Uru Mystique says, oh wow, Uche, I am so impressed. What an awesome and necessary piece. P.S. I have a lot to say on this matter. You should have me on your show to do a beautiful, natural, and fab makeup application on someone. Every woman has her own natural beauty. We just don't always know how to show it. It's a beautiful world because you are in it. Yeah, sounds very Uru to me. So it would seem that even among women, excessive makeup gets the thumbs down. Please keep your comments coming in. We love hearing from you. Do join the conversation on Facebook, Plus TV Africa, and on Instagram and Twitter at Plus TV Africa, hashtag #TheAdvocateNG, and we'll endeavor to read some of your responses on the program. Okay, time to go on a brief break, and when we return, Ireti will be taking us into the den of antiquities. Really?